Hey everybody, welcome back. This is 9-ball backside tournament. It's been a few weeks. I don't remember this match that well, so we're gonna find out. That's a nice way to start though. So hey, thanks for being here. Welcome in. It's YouTube. We're doing it. Um, I was working my way through the backside of this tournament. It's a local tournament, small tables, 7-foot tables. Diamonds, they play really nice, they play really true. And I had some crunchy matches. If you go back, or if you've seen them, you know that it's just not been all smooth sailing. And certainly there's some good competition out here. Starting off with ball in hand is pretty nice. So we just have to figure out a way to get good on this. What are we working on here? The 4-ball. I think at this point I'm really working on my pace. And you could tell if you saw that last video that I'm trying to let the stroke out. Yeah, in this case, need to get good on the 4-ball to get over to the 5. And I have clocked down my pace on my pre-shot routine to the point where it's very, very fast compared to how I normally play. So I'm not second guessing. I'm committing to my plan. I'm trusting the stroke, and I'm just going in to execute, focusing on having a good process like that. Put a really good stroke on that ball. If you like seeing a good stroke, hit like, hit subscribe, do the YouTube things, helps out a lot. And we're just here to have a good time, you know. Don't look at the timestamp on the video. Don't look at the the play duration or anything. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna be all right here. Just trying to get through this one. So just float over for the 6. You got to get good on the 6 to stay above the 7. Really, you don't need to complicate this. I got a little flat on the 6, but natural angle still sends you into this top rail and out. You could also look at, I think probably what I was considering is coming deeper into the 6 to float back over. You risk missing the 6 there. You don't want to overcomplicate this shot. So I think I go back to my initial impression. No, I do try to get more out of it. So it's risky because you underplay it like this, and now you're left with a long back cut on the 7. You make the 7-ball, though, you have a pretty good chance of getting shape on the 8 as long as you hold up the cue ball. You don't want to let the cue float down towards the 9 too far. So try to hold this a little bit. Yeah, I'm elevating a little bit here to hold it for the 8-ball. Put a good stroke on that ball, too. So it's paying off, right? You're starting to see the confidence come through, making these long cut shots and just trying to dial in the speed. So here I'm looking at, if I punch over to the long rail on the right-hand side, I will be willing to accept a longer cut on the 9-ball. I'm not trying to get cute. I'm not trying to draw down below the side pocket. Let up on the 8-ball. Yeah. So I was playing a good out there, but I let up a little bit on the stroke there, maybe a little too concerned about the position. And position would have been fine on that 9-ball. You know, it's a very makeable shot. You bear down, make that cut, no risk of a scratch. You're in the clear once you get on that. So I let my opponent back to the table. It would have been a really good bit of momentum for me to take ball in hand off his break, his scratch on the break, and to run out like that. I think I still made a good showing, though, in this first rack. Still show that I'm here to play and making good decisions. So he plays the cut really well on that one. Could have used a bit more out of it, but again, in a very similar position to where I would have been if I had made that 8-ball. So he lines up the back cut here on the 9. See if he takes this first game. A little snatchy, but he does put it away. Gives him the 1 game. So good solid break there. Lost the cue ball a bit off to the right-hand side on the long rail. long shot on the 2, but very makeable ball. And then I think some people would try to get down below the 3 ball to play it in the side. You have to navigate some traffic between the 5 and the 7. You could also make the 2, try to hold the cue ball for the long combo on the 3 and the 4. Sizing up my options here. Again, pace is quick. I'm trying to work through this without wasting too much energy on overthinking and second guessing. Put the 2 ball away and commit myself to a long table, basically half the table shot on the 3 ball into the 4, and the 4 is not a hanger. It's close to a diamond away. This is a good approach though. I'm at least sizing up the cut from the 3 to the 4. This is not a gimme. If you make this 4 ball, the 3 does come into it pretty full, but it's still going to want to come off the left side of the 4 because it's a slight cut angle. Played it pretty well. I played it pretty full into the 4 ball, not quite enough of a cut on the 4 to make it. So I give up the table again. I might have been too concerned with holding the cue ball for the 3. He's got similar consideration here. Make sure you leave the 3 and the cue ball in a place where they're playable after you make the combo. But the 4 is basically a hanger now. Comes full into the 4. A little bit of a cue flick. Might have been concerned that he overplayed it, but he's fine here. You can do a bit of a Z shot to come into the 3 and back over for the 5. One of those. Not sure if he has enough of the 3 to come into it and try to curve up table. Probably going to look like a 2-railer. Get above the side pocket. Yeah, he's coming to size that up right now. By this point in the night, spent a lot of mental energy to get this deep into the tournament. This is round 6. So he did go 2 rails. He came up into the 5, which could have gone wrong. There's a lot of ways that could have gone wrong, but he's at least got full sight of the 5. It's playable on the side. It's playable in the corner. If he likes it in the side, it must be pretty straight on. So he just gets level on this. Yeah, it was pretty close to straight on. Takes him right to the 6. Some people would try to hold this with inside. You could certainly just pop it over to the other side of the 7 ball, or the left side of it as we're looking at it. He kind of tried to hold it a little bit, but played into the 7. Probably intentional there. Just know that you're nudging the 7 towards the pocket. A lot that can go right with that one. He's not completely straight on the 7 ball. Got a little bit of an angle to work with. And you don't have to work this too much. You're going to be above the 8. Make sure you just draw back a little bit to get a good cut angle on it. So he played pretty much straight into it. Didn't want to cheat it. So long cut on the 8 here. You can come with high inside to the 8 ball. It sends you down to this rail and back up over for the 9. Some players will want to kind of go with the grain away from the 8 and come around, which can work. Looks like he's going high inside here. But yeah, by this point in the night, you're starting to see the mental fatigue. You're starting to see mistakes from players. Their pace falls off a little bit. They'll second guess a little more, especially people with less tournament experience like this. But he's staying level, so it's just like that. He's up 2-0. And he's got a good look at the 1 ball here. He can easily get down on the 2. Bit of a complication with the 6 and the 9 ball being right on top of each other. But as it turns out, he didn't make a ball. I thought he did because he was kind of lingering at the table. But so it lets me back, and he's in the hill. Just a race to 3. And now I have to size up my options for this rack. Very playable to get down on the 2. You can come with low outside, low left to kind of curve back down table. This is a good shot too because it gives you a little bit of an opening in the stroke. That one feels good. I don't remember if the 6 was close enough to the pocket to play the 2 ball off of the 6 to try to spread those out a little bit. But I seem to remember that I just played the 2 clean and floated above the 3 ball. Another complication here is the position of the 4. So it's hard to tell if it plays into the side. If it does, it'd be very thin. Otherwise, you're looking at a cut on the 4 ball to bring it up table here. So that's what I'm trying to determine now is where do I want to be on the 3 that sends me towards the 4. So good speed control there. Got me pretty much right where I want to be. I can send the cue ball towards the 8. Could play above the 8 or below the 8 just to kind of float over for the 4. I play into it, which is a good play. You kind of use that as a blocker. Give yourself enough pace to make the 3 and float over for the 4. Still not a gimme. You got to run the 4 up the rail. Luckily, this sort of thin cut along the rail, if you touch the rail anywhere from the 2nd diamond on, it's still very likely to drop. Don't want to put too much pace on this ball. You can just kind of float this one up. And the cue ball is going to come around the 7 for the 5, so shape is guaranteed. Yeah, flirted with that one. I came into pretty close to the 3rd diamond, I think, looking at it now. And that's super risky. But now I have to contend with the 6. Taking a look at it, and I remember seeing it earlier, and it felt like it would go. I've got a little bit of angle on the 5 ball. You got to get into a good position where you can make the 6. The 7 goes right in the side. You don't have to worry about that too much. I cheat the pocket a little bit and punch over. I look at the 6 and feel like it goes. So you kind of thin this one in, and it's one of those shots where using a little spin is going to help you make the ball. Just remember to apply that spin with enough pace that it has spin by the time it gets down there. I think that's what went wrong here. Looking back on it and seeing kind of how I stroked it here, I put spin on it. I had good speed, but not enough spin or not the right speed so that it would throw the 6 into the pocket. So tough one. Good shape on the 7. Naturally puts me on the 8. Float back over for the 9. This could have been an out. Now we sold out, guys. I mean, he's on the hill. We left him an open table. We know he can get out. It's a shame. So without a blunder, it's gonna look like lights out for us. Not much to say here. 7 takes you right to the 8. Yep, run that 8 down the rail and it takes you right over the 9. Bobbled that one a little bit, but he's fine. Gets right on the 9. No look at it because of the camera angle, but yeah, tough one. So late in the night, ended up placing 7th in this tournament, and there were 32 players. So it's pretty good, right? It's a pretty deep finish. I certainly could have done better. There was a lot that went wrong in these different matches. Looking back on it, lots to learn, lots to talk about. Appreciate you guys being here, hanging out, checking this stuff out. If you like these tournament style videos compared to some of the other drill down stuff or the master stuff, let me know. I will be filming more of these. Tournaments are going to be a big part of my preparation for bigger events later in the year, especially playing on 7-foot diamond tables like this. Spoiler alert, it's relevant to Vegas Masters World Championships. So that's what we're gunning for. Let me know if you like this stuff. Let me know if you have any feedback. This is the last one. Obviously, I got knocked out of this tournament, so last one for this particular tournament. Stay tuned. There's a lot of cool stuff to come. Thanks for being here.